Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. A little flub there to start things off. That gives you a little hint of how I'm doing today. Terry, how's it going, my brother?
Yeah, man, I'm great. What's going on, bro? What's going on, bro?
Yeah,
I'm wired. No,
I see that.
I'm good.
Got your coffee from Timmy's, ready to rock?
I do have a coffee, but it's not from Timmy's. It's homemade Timmy's, which is, yeah, from Timmy's, I guess.
That's harsh.
There's no label, so they're not sponsoring us.
Like I said, if how we're starting is any indication, it's not. I mean, I could be doing better, obviously, but it just seems the symptoms are heading up. I mean, I guess that means we're heading back to spring, so it's my fatigue's acting up a little, and that's frustrating because there's so much that I need to do, and well, I don't know. It's the same old trap that we get into all the time: need to do, have to do, want to do. Have the energy for, have the time. It just never ends, dude.
What's the anxiety about? What do you got to do?
Yeah, it's the frustration from knowing that there are things that need to be done to maintain your house and not having the energy to do them. And it has nothing to do with my amazing support system or people who can help, that kind of thing. It has everything to do with what we talk about often, which is me setting a standard and an expectation of myself. That's pretty unrealistic, if I'm being honest at this point. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, sure, I could knock out my entire to-do list in a week.
It's like we become perfectionists, but we're not perfectionists. But it's like our standards, just like you say, go up. But to me, man, it's because just like you say, I have things to do. Things are going to come up on my list. So I want everything to be as perfect as possible. So when something comes on my list, it's just a little thing I have to do to upkeep, to go back up to par.
Right.
Yeah. So
I heard it a couple of times where it was said, your to-do list will never end. And no matter how long you live, when you pass, there will still be things on your to-do list.
What? Yeah, I guess.
Because we're always adding things. We know that every,
if my list is empty, empty, I'll just put stuff on it because it makes me feel better. Bro, It's weird, man. I'm not even going to tell you what I put on it, but sometimes I'm like, I remind myself to do this, which is a daily task.
I have reminders. My phone goes off about 100 times a day, reminding me to do things that, would seem like it would be something you would remember.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't. So I go, I was going to do that today.
Yeah.
The most important reminders, obviously, are the medication ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get reminders too. Yeah.
I have four of those a day. So
you take your meds in different times of the day? Dude, well, I can't do that. My meds, at one point I was taking it evening, and then this other drug I'm supposed to take in the afternoon, which we will talk about. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. So I kind of because I can't just switch from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m., So every day I was moving it up by an hour until I got there. And now all my meds are in the afternoon. Perfect timing.
So I have to have these reminders because without the routine of a work day, it's very easy for me to forget what time it is, because I'm either engrossed in doing some task and then I don't realize that 3 hours has passed. Mm-hmm. Or I haven't done anything and I'm like, oh wow, it's already 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
So the key the key for me is to try to maintain that routine. Any routine, even if it's just taking my medications on the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that'll help that'll help the anxiety of feeling like you're procrastinating against a clock that doesn't exist. Does that make sense? Like no one's telling me, "Oh, you don't have these things done." It's me.
It's what
So,
I go through, bro.
yeah.
It's what I go through, but it's not. It's just the feeling of being rushed or rushing because something else is going to come on top of that.
Right.
Something else is going to be added to the list.
And
And
I'm
that's why I
still
get anxiety when my phone rings too, because I'm like, who's putting tasks on my list? Is this Nick that's going to
yeah.
be like, hey, don't forget to do this?
Yeah, and I plan out a daily and weekly list of things to do based on the energy I think I'll have.
Yeah.
Um, but then it's a frustration that we share where you get it in your mind that, okay, today I'm going to do these 4 things. And I don't think it's too much, but halfway through the list, it is too much. Or the first item takes way longer than it should, or has way more of a physical toll, and then I just get frustrated for the last 3. You know what I mean? So I know it's not, I know I'm not the only one. I know there's a lot of people that, just go through this kind of a thing. So what do you do? How do you help yourself with the anxiety and the stress of this particular scenario, Terry?
I just stay on top of everything.
Yeah, how's that work out?
It's not that I'm a perfectionist. People are like, oh, you could just do that tomorrow, or you could just, no, it's got to be done now. Sometimes I'll do laundry at 2 a.m, man, because it's like there, and I'm like, I'm not gonna wait till tomorrow because tomorrow I have other shit to do. Let's get it done now. So that's who I am, bro. I'm just wired like that because and then when I get stuff done, it's therapeutic. I'm just like, nice, I can relax. Don't be adding shit to my list, bro.
I try not to.
Not you, but in general. That's why when I get a text, my anxiety goes. I'm like, who, what, why?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I have a little bit of that too. It's like, what I'm immediately thinking about, does this person want me to go somewhere to do something? Do I have the energy for that? Is there something I need to do? So, and then most of the time it's not that. It's just me
I get you,
preemptively being, you know,
bro. Have you noticed every time I send you a message, I'm like, hey, bro, sorry to bother you.
yeah,
Just letting you know, just an FYI, because I talk to people the way I want people to talk to me.
yeah,
So it's
it's
like,
a
hey,
good
I'm
way to do it.
not gonna ask you for. Yeah,
Now, do you feel that your living your apartment or condo or whatever is too much space, if that makes sense, or is it just enough space? Like, is it too much to maintain, or is it just the right amount?
it's just the right amount. I know what you're saying. It's never big enough because you always have tools or something stored away. And then you start to find it's like Tetris, right? Everything has its place. It's
Yeah,
perfectly, so now my place is perfect. And it's always adjusted. But right now I'm like, okay, I'm done. Everything is perfect. This is where I'm going to die. I don't want to ever sell and move or,
yeah,
but I know what you're saying. I have 2 bedroom place. And the problem with this is I've said this in the past. I didn't want this place at first because it has 1 bathroom.
right.
What? But anyway, it works. I don't have guests. Don't come over. I told you I have a backup commode I've never used, but it's there in case I have a guest that needs to pee.
To keep Terry's bathroom available for him when you come over.
And if
If
you
you,
do have to use my bathroom, you're sitting on the seat. Because if I have to sit, you sit too.
it's
There's
interesting.
bars for you. There's grab handles. But yeah,
Yeah, that's and
for sure.
I think that's another thing that contributes is I have a pretty big space. I'm not gonna lie, and it can be a lot for people to maintain, let alone one. You know, so yeah, you just do the best you can, but those weeds keep getting taller, and
Yeah, I get. Yeah, you have because you're in a house,
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, I was looking for a bungalow, and I was talked out of it. Thank God,
Yeah.
because they're like, "What about the snow?" I'm like, "Oh, you paid people to do it. Oh, like everything's."
Yeah,
Anyway,
when we talk about the hidden cost of disability. If you can't sell, or you don't want to sell, then you have to do things like pay someone to plow your driveway
by
or
law.
cut your grass. Yeah, luckily my property was built before the sidewalk law, so
Okay.
in our town, so my yard goes right up to the street, no sidewalk.
Okay.
Um, Now, if we ever do sell, which we're not gonna, but if we ever were to, we'd have to put a sidewalk in, and
Oh,
it's
damn.
that's a big sidewalk that would have to go in. That'd be a
Okay.
lot of
Okay.
money.
What about your neighbor? If he sells, does he have to put the sidewalk?
Yeah, that's the rule
So nobody's
in our
selling. They're
town.
like, you sell first.
No, no, not the whole. My property is just I have a large
Oh, you
road
guys.
frontage, so I have I would have to put in 80 or 90 feet worth of
Yeah, I don't know anything
sidewalk that
about
no
that
one
stuff.
would use on my tiny little dead end street. Like there's 12
Yeah.
houses on my whole street. So,
Yeah.
but yes, as people sell, you see sidewalks going up, which
I didn't know that.
yeah, that's just a rule in this town. Um, that's a lot.
Cool.
It's one of those things where I'm like, that's a lot. So yeah, that's the trials of what I'm going through currently. But this weekend was fun. This weekend was a lot of fun. I expended some social energy for the first time in a while. I actually went out to like a bar restaurant kind of place, and my uncle has been in bands since the 80s, and going out to see him play, which was a
Good,
lot of
man.
fun. A lot of families there.
Live music is always great.
Yeah, a lot of my family, I should say, was there to support him. A couple of aunts and uncles were there. My mom was there, so it was a good time. And it helps that they're a good band. You know what I mean?
Did you bring your drums?
No. I'm purely a spectator, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Hey guys, I'm gonna join you. Okay.
He honestly, he wouldn't have a problem. He'd go, all right, that's fine. Especially if I was like, hey, I brought my bongos. Can I sit in and jam? He'd be like, sure. He wouldn't care. But no, that was a lot of fun. But I was absolutely wrecked the next day. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things where you know what you're getting into.
Did you hydrate? Did you drink there? Just curious.
Well, I don't drink alcohol.
Okay.
I haven't.
For your religion? Just joking.
Nope.
Just joking.
It's been about.
It's what I get asked.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've had a drink.
Okay.
But no,
what is your drink? If you did drink.
When I was drinking, it was whiskey. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Not a beer drinker?
No, okay. I don't. It's everybody has a preference, and mine just happened to be stuff that tasted like gasoline.
So my taste buds were like a child's taste bud. Anything was like poison to me.
Yeah.
I tried to get into beer because people were getting into beer, friends. I tried, man, but it always gave me a bad effect. Dizzy, bowel issues. It would never sit well with me.
So it's been a while, but no, I mean, yes, I was hydrated, but it's getting out of routine. Like we were talking about earlier when I was saying about, being on routine. Now you're staying up later than you normally do. You're consuming food later in the night because, you usually eat around a certain time, and now you're out. So you're eating like nachos at like 10 at night or whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing. So you pay for it the next day, but it's got to be worth it. And this was, so I had a great time.
That's good.
And you went out this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny because I messaged you. I'm like, hey, I'm going over to this bar to watch a buddy of mine. Well, it was more of a piano bar. I've never heard of that. That's what Katrina said. It's like, this is a piano bar. I'm like, it's just a bar that had live jazz music. And my buddy told me, first of all, it's like an hour away from here. So it's a big, tall order. It's a tall order to go to Stratford, which is like an hour away. say 50 minutes, right? Maybe traffic and stuff like that. But yeah, so we planned it. He told me, he always tells me, hey, I'm going to play here. It's on Facebook and stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go and see you play because this guy is a buddy of mine who comes to Parkwood, has MS, and he's going to be on the show in May. And yeah, so
Awesome.
I actually went with Katrina, and it was a pretty cool place, Starlight, and it was very accessible. I knew it was accessible because he's in a chair. He actually uses a scooter, a big scooter.
Okay.
Right. He always brings a scooter everywhere, and cool guy. He has dreads. I love this guy's hair. Probably one of the main reasons why I cut my hair, because I'm like, yeah, I can never make it look like yours, bro. So yeah, and I got to go see him play piano with his band. I don't know if they're a set band, if they go everywhere, but and I saw the first bass guitar with 6 strings.
Oh, really?
I thought they were all 4 strings.
The
And
standard
he's
is
like,
4,
it
but
was, yeah, I don't know. It's custom made in Hamilton or something. So yeah, I'm good, bro. I had a good time. No issues. So in a good mood.
isn't
I
that
woke up
nice?
tired.
Isn't that
Yeah,
nice? Like,
great.
there's no bathroom story. There's no out of order. There's no parking lot issues. Like, not for me
Nothing.
anyway. Well, I didn't even drive, so like, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
The
Too
biggest
late.
issue
Too
was
late for me to
getting
be
in.
behind the wheel.
Oh yeah,
Too late in
yeah.
the
Do you
day.
you do you drive though?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Because we have never talked about you actually driving. I know
Yeah.
you can. I'm just
Yep. I
wondering
still
if.
have my light, but I don't go very far because there's no need to. But when I do have to travel later at night or a long distance, I'll sit in the passenger seat. That's fine. I know you and our guest, Chris, right? Chris.
Chris
Um,
Muotoh.
okay. So I know you and Chris have been communicating a lot, or several times at least. So why don't you tell us a little about him and bring him in and do all the introduction and stuff? Because I never met this guy before, so it would be super awkward for me to be like, "Oh, hey, by the way, now you're going to talk to me."
Yeah, no. This guy's cool. First of all, I met on Instagram. Of course, it's always the social media. But dude, you know how we
Yeah.
all click.
Yeah. Oh,
MS, we
yeah.
click. And he puts out videos that are pretty funny. He's in a chair, and he has an interesting life because I think he's always been into jujitsu. I can say it. Jujitsu.
I don't know. Jujitsu.
Jujitsu.
I'm going to say it with my accent. So are you going to understand it?
Just say it. Just say it.
It's jujitsu.
Jujitsu. I don't know why. I have issues saying that. I don't know. Anyway, okay, whatever. So anyway, and he's a student of jujitsu. Ju, ju, bro, I can't say it. Whatever. Let's just move on. Anyway, and he's pretty cool. And we talked, we met up, and we started talking, bro, for like a good half an hour. And then I'm like, stop, man. This shit's supposed to be for the podcast because it was amazing stuff. Dude, we were just going back and forth. Like,
Good.
he's like, oh,
Good.
me too. And and he's like, and he's saying everything we've talked about. So I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be repetitive.
All right.
The whole
Yeah.
denial talk and stuff like that.
It might be repetitive, but it highlights just how many people deal with the same stuff, which is why we talk to a whole bunch of different people so that our listeners know there's little nuances from person to person, how they approach it, how they deal with it. So that's why I like hearing these stories from all these people, because our guests are awesome.
And he's from the UK.
Well, you know what? It's MS Awareness Month everywhere, but I think Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're in
Ours
April.
is for some reason is in May.
May,
which is okay. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no,
Just because MS
at least you have one. Right?
World MS Day is May 30th.
Yep.
So who cares? We have 2 months. We have March.
Yeah, we'll take all year, and you and I have every
Whatever.
week, so that's fine.
We have every day, man.
Every day.
Yeah.
So no, it's good that we're highlighting people from across the pond, as it were.
Of course.
For World MS Day. I mean, not World MS Day. MS Awareness Month. I'll get it right. All right, Terry, who do we have joining us today on our show?
We got Chris Muotoh. I'm not even sure if I say that last name right, but I like it.
Yeah, that was right.
This guy's cool. His presence on Instagram brought me towards him. And I'm like, yo, you need to come on. We have a lot of similarities, bro. When we talked, I told you we were going off. And I'm like, you need to stop talking, man. because this stuff is really good. We need to all hear this. And he's like, and I think he looked at me, and goes, "We're not recording." I'm like, bro. So yeah, man, Chris, this is Nick. Nick,
Nice to
please
meet
meet
you,
Chris.
Nick. Nice to meet you, Nick.
Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for joining us today.
Bro, when we were talking, you and I had so much similarities, and you were just diagnosed 2019, right? I got that right?
Actually, late 2013, early 14. Yeah, early 2014.
Oh,
But
is
my
it the chair?
skin,
You were in a chair 2019?
yeah, 2019, yeah.
That's that's me too. That's why I said that. 2014, you got MS. Was it like a bad attack the first time, or was it like?
The first one was osteoarthritis, and at first it was like slightly, like a little blind spots. And at first it was, where you get like, what do you call them? Eye floaters. Like that, and then
Yeah.
slowly it wore down to the stage where my blind spot had deteriorated that much it went to the middle of my eye. If you look at somebody straight away in your vision, but as soon as you get to your blind spot, they disappear. So I was like shocked and was in a way puzzled by what it was. I didn't know what MS was, to be honest.
I call those blotchy spots, by the way. I had that when I first got diagnosed, but that's not what triggered me to get diagnosed.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
after I got diagnosed, I checked it out, but mine went
yeah,
away, never came back. I'm just letting you know. What about
yeah.
you?
A lot of weakness on my left side of my body, and it went completely numb all the way down my left side. Now, that was the time when I was working as a personal trainer in the gym. So I related it to, how can I put it, sciatica. I just thought it was a bit of weakness from overtraining while being in the gym training myself, but it wasn't that. It turned out to, I had a client who was a nurse, and she said, uh, what are your symptoms? And I told her, and she just said, it doesn't sound like sciatica. I think you need to go and get checked out, because it doesn't look like it's sciatica. Could be something more sinister.
Didn't hear about it. You didn't know anyone with MS. You're on your
No,
own.
never heard about it whatsoever. So I think it's that in a way, how can I put it? Not knowing about it was, in a way, that saying ignorance is bliss, as I said to you last time. Sometimes not knowing what it is can be the can feel like the more safer option than knowing what it is, because once you find out, because everyone, as we all know, everyone's MS is completely different. It's the snowflake disease, so it's all different to everybody. But when you get told the worst side of MS, that's when you go, oh sugar, I don't really want to know about this. But at that time, it was probably felt like the safer option, not knowing.
I have something to say, Nick, because you being, are you a retired police officer? Uh, he said ignorance is bliss. Did you hear him say that?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember getting pulled over once, and the cop said, "Da, da, da, da," I forget what it was, but I'm like, I didn't know how I didn't know, and he goes, ignorance is bliss, and that
Mm,
stuck in my head like ever since. And when he said that
mm,
yesterday, because we were talking, and he said it to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
don't
mm.
you say that to me, bro.
Yeah.
And we were laughing about that and stuff. So, did you ever say that to anyone, Nick?
uh, no, what I would say is ignorance is not an excuse.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't know you were breaking the law doesn't mean that you weren't breaking a law.
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
did you know he used to be a cop before MS,
Oh
which
no,
forced him
no,
into
never
retirement?
knew. No, no.
So,
Mm.
all right. I want to know about this guy because first of all, were you into, is it jujitsu? I can't say the word, bro.
Well, I was fascinated because I'd heard about the Ultimate Fight UFC. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to tell you now, but because I'd heard about um, MMA, mixed martial arts, when I was a child, especially after you see films like Kickboxer, and so on. John Claude Van Damme, everyone's childhood um, action hero, and Bruce Lee and so on. I think as a child, I found all that very fascinating.
Of course.
But when I heard that there was mixed martial arts around, during the time when I was a lot younger, it was seen as it was seen as taboo. It was heard of, but it was seen as taboo. But what I ended up getting into, and my mum only told me this not long ago, that I tried karate before anything. But I was a kid, a lot younger, but I think it must have been about 10. So my attention span was pretty poor then. So I think she must have asked me to try that to find the focus as a young kid. I forgotten about it, to be honest, in all honesty. I forgotten about that, but I tried the system called Krav Maga Self Defense in 2008. I did that, and it was mainly for weight loss, to be honest, in all honesty. Now, before that, it was Russian Sambo. I went to the gym to find out. That's what I went for, Russian Sambo. However, the course was short in the gym. So I tried Krav Maga. Never knew what that was either. And I did that for, I think it was until I got diagnosed with MS and then retired. And then took up Japanese Jiu Jitsu. Because I was like at the stage. Yeah, Japanese Jiu Jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
Now you're getting it.
Did people see you progress like you were there? So people were like,
To be honest, I'm the guinea pig because this is a new system to the club. No one's done it. So from what I've been told, I
nice.
think I'm
Well,
one
not
of
nice, but
yeah. I think I'm one of the only one, or I think I'm the only one who's doing it actually in Liverpool anyway. So it didn't put more pressure on me, but um, no, I wouldn't say it's put more pressure on me, but it's made me more focused on wanting to improve more on it. It's like at the moment, I'm training for my black belt, and it's from a wheelchair user's perspective. So at the moment, we're designing a syllabus. My sensei's designing it, but I am the guinea pig. That hopefully that can be once I've achieved my black belt, that can be used for other people who are wheelchair users. So it's yeah, it's giving me a bit of purpose, really.
if you were a black belt before you got MS, just curious, if you were a black belt and then all of a sudden you have MS and you're in a wheelchair, do you lose the black belt and you have to re-achieve the black belts?
So I was thinking, to be honest, I think there's some people it would you'd have to, in a way, I'd say restart to a certain level. Because the
Really?
technique is going to be completely different from from if you're in a wheelchair or you are fully
Makes
disabled.
sense.
It's going to be completely different from that perspective. Whereas some techniques that you may have been able to do when you were a non-wheelchair user or non-disabled,
Yeah.
it's changed. So it's like, in a way, I always hear like baking a cake. You've got to have to put in new ingredients to slightly tweak that. You still get a cake at the very end. It may just taste slightly a little bit different from what the cake would have been if you were not, if you were using non-lacto free milk, but now you'd have to use lacto free. So that's the only way
Okay.
really.
Now, how does that make you feel to be? It's got to be pretty exciting to be designing an entire course
Yeah,
for
it's
other
me, well,
people to follow.
yeah, as well as me sensei, but I'm just going with it really at the moment. It's a bit, I wouldn't say nerve wracking. I don't know. I think especially, it's exciting, but it's both nerve wracking and exciting at the same time.
Especially with like such a such a background. I mean, going from here you are practicing Krav Maga, and now here you are designing along with your sensei, designing a program for other wheelchair users.
Yeah.
Just because you were the kind of person who was like, this isn't going to stop me. I still need to have martial arts in my life.
Yeah, well, what it was, to be honest with you, Nick, what it was is that um, when you end up in a wheelchair, it's one of them. It's like, oh God, my wheels have gone now. I have to take my wheels off. How am I gonna navigate around this? And that was one of the things, especially when we get told we've got MS. We we're automatically directed in the direction of take up Tai Chi or something more softer, something more milder. But the problem was I did not want to do Tai Chi because I felt that maybe that's down to my own ignorance. I felt that related more for more older middle aged individuals, more older,
Yeah.
more pensioners than
I'm so worried that you're triggering people because you're like, it's a little more mild. Maybe people are like, no, Tai Chi. I've seen these commercials where
yeah.
like you can get a six pack from Tai Chi.
Yeah,
So
well, exactly, but that's the thing. What I think with me, because I never knew much about it, my automatic straight
yeah,
thought was that it's no, this is more like knitting or something like that. But maybe that's my own ignorance in itself, really. But I've seen some videos on Tai Chi, and a lot of the techniques that are used in other martial arts, they're used in Tai Chi as well. And looking back on it, really.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Have you ever gone through any embarrassing moments? This is my question because I this is what I think of when I'm there. I'm like, what if this happens? What if have you ever gone through an embarrassing moment? Or are you past that stuff? You're like, I don't care.
I've had all the MS symptoms that we don't want to talk about, but I've had them all.
Yeah.
And I think you gradually become a bit more desensitized, to be honest. That's the best way of putting it, really. At first, it's gonna affect everybody. Yeah. Well, I think after reading up a bit more and learning over it, and I think a lot of it wasn't down to me researching myself. I think it was just down to time, like over the years, really, going through everything. And then when I do finally read up on it, I'm thinking, I've had near enough most of all them situations happen at some point in my life.
Yo, by the way, I never asked you. I know you're in the UK, but where in the UK?
I'm in
Okay,
Liverpool with the
cool.
Beatles. So
So
I'm a born and bred Liverpoolian Scouser. Yeah,
just so you know, my brother was always into Liverpool when he used to
yeah,
watch football, but
yeah.
because I was never into what he was into, I
Mm,
was into Manchester United.
yeah,
Does that bother you?
not really, no, to
Are we
be
still
honest.
friends?
Yeah, we're still waiting. Yeah, I think a lot of, I'd
He's
say,
like, you come here, I'm gonna
like,
karate chop your throat.
yeah. I think what it is with football, I'm like, because I'm into like more martial arts and combat sports. Man, that's just the
Yeah.
due to my personal reference, personal choice. I've never been. Uh, there's not much. I don't think anymore that division with Scousers and Mancunians. I think if you like Manchester United, you like Manchester United.
He's I know he's our age, by the way. Well, actually he's a year younger than me, which is basically a year younger than you. And yeah, we're very similar, man. Like I mean different times. Like he had MS 2014. Yeah, and that's another thing. You got MS 2014 and in 5 years you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Did you
Mm.
feel you were diagnosed? Did you think you were diagnosed with relapse remitting or
Well,
secondary?
I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting at first, but then I ended up in a wheelchair after having a second relapse, and that was oh god, about 5 years, about 4 years later, or 4 to 5 years later, and I've had MS for 11 years, well, probably nearly 12 now. But
Yeah.
it was probably after 5 years later. after about 5 years later, I had the second relapse, and that was, I think, the day after my birthday. After having that relapse, that's when my body started deteriorating. So I had to go on a different disease modifying therapy. I went on Copaxone after I was originally on Rebirth, and I went on Copaxone for a little bit. Um, Even though I was taking Copaxone, I was deteriorating. Yeah, just slowly deteriorating. And then I found out the day after my birthday that I had secondary progressive.
And which DMT are you on now? Which drug?
I'm just on no DMT now.
Well, I thought you were on Ocrevus. I don't know why.
No,
Okay.
nothing at all,
Okay,
nothing at
okay,
all.
okay. Okay, and your doctor actually said you, because me, I've never been told. I was diagnosed relapse remitting. No one ever told me I have secondary progressive, which is
Yeah,
what you think I would have because I'm in a chair now, right?
yeah, yeah.
So did they tell you? They told you you have
Yeah,
secondary
they told
progressive.
me a day
Okay.
after my birthday and said, "Oh, by the way, we forgot to say happy birthday for yesterday." From yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, appreciate it." So it was thanks for the bad news, but in a way, it didn't really feel as bad news. I suspected that it was at the secondary stage because of such a deterioration at that time, really, as well.
Yeah, you kind of knew it was coming.
MS fighter. We have one of our first MS fighters. I mean, MMA fighting, wheelchair fighting.
That's awesome.
What do you mean that's awesome? We said we were going to do this one day. We're going to have MMA fighting in wheelchairs. We're going to make the event. We're going to be the first UFC in wheelchairs or whatever.
Yeah, we're taking
We
all
got
the
Chris
sports.
now.
Yep.
We got me. I got a few other people. I'm not going to fight Chris, dude. I'm going to kick my ass kicked.
I was going to say, because you'd lose, or...
In all honesty, I'm a peaceful dude. I see this as therapy, MS
That's what they
fitness
all say.
as well.
Yeah. Physical therapy and mental therapy, because you got to keep your mind sharp and got to learn new skills. And yeah, I see where I get it. So it's just your way of, it's just another way of not giving in.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of times people think, oh my goodness, now that I have MS and now that I'm in a wheelchair, I can't do anything but just sit here and wait for the end. And that's certainly not the case. That's not the case at all.
Dude, when was it that you realized, all right, I really do have this illness. I got to get my life in check. Like, I know we were talking and, we all get it. When I got it, I was in denial. It took me like 5 years before I'm like, I better.
It was gradually, bit by bit for me. It was, I think I went through a period of grieving. I did have periods where I grieved for it, and I think it's like a death, isn't it? It's the death of the old you and the rebirth of the new you, really. So, yeah, that must have been. It was over time, it was gradually, so bit by bit. I think at first I did not want to. I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to know about it. I think I was in denial that much. I really didn't want to know about it. I was, in a way, just plodding along as usual, pretending that I didn't have MS. But I think the reality started kicking in when the spasticity and my what's it called, limb weakness and weakness of the legs, spasticity a lot more the most, and that's when I think I hit. I wouldn't say hit rock bottom. I'd say that's when I thought, this is something I need to get in check now because it's with me forever. And I think when we get told we've got something, most of us go, okay, we'll be okay from now. We'll find the cure for it, or we'll have the cure for it within whatever, or it's curable. But as soon as they tell you it's incurable, that's when it's like, okay, um, this unwanted lodger is in my vessel and it's here to stay. Now, I can either let it beat me or try and find a way of navigating around it. It's here to stay, MS. I'm going to have to just try and checkmate it. That's the only way. It's a big checkmate with MS.
I hope you give yourself a lot of credit, man, because there are people, like, I hate saying this word, resilient, but we are, because we keep going. You keep your life going, and some people don't do that, man. I know people that they're in bed all day and it sucks, and you try to get them out, but they just don't have motivation anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to show some videos here. Hopefully they can see what I'm talking about.
One thing I wanted to do, my nephew is born now. He's 4 years of age, and when he was born, that's one of the times when it was my birthday, and I thought, oh God, I think it was my 40th birthday. Yeah, it was my 40th when he was born, and I thought, I don't wanna be the doom and gloom, be the buzzkill of the party. And which is his birthday, and I thought, well, even if I leave him something, I know this sounds quite, I don't mean in a doom and gloom type of way. I thought, well, MS, the way this is, we may not be able to be as agile in 5 years from now. It may just change, so unpredictable. So I thought that at least if I can leave him something, uh, something he can look back and go, well, my uncle did this. That's something me out. That's why my Uncle Chris did that. And he left me some videos to watch. So that's why I thought on social media, I put it on. And he can watch it when he's old enough really to soak it up. And if he wants to try it out himself, but being a non-disabled person, he can try it out himself if he doesn't want to. I think my nephew though, Sebastian, I think he wants to be a gymnast at the moment. He wanted to be a DJ a couple of weeks ago, so a 4-year-old changes his mind all the time.
Yeah, astronauts next.
Whatever, man.
Exactly.
But see, and that touches on something that we haven't really talked about on the show too often is legacy. Like
Yeah.
what are people down the road, our family that we haven't even met yet, what can they do? Like, what can we do to say, hey, this is who I was. Yes, I had this thing that I had to deal with, but this is what I did with it. And that's pretty amazing that you're doing that. That's pretty amazing.
Thank you. Thanks.
That's the way you're looking at it. Because I know that it's an uncomfortable term when Terry and I talk about inspiration.
Mm.
We had a guest on a long time ago that said inspiration is great. What are you gonna if I'm inspirational, what are you gonna do with that inspiration now? What am I inspiring you to do?
Mm.
And I know that I can say from seeing what you're up to and talking with you that you are inspiring people to know that this is one activity that they can do.
I don't see it as inspiring. I don't, Joe, to be honest,
Right?
I'm doing it just because I enjoy doing it. I think, yeah, I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it, really. It gives me a bit of a purpose, and that was me. I think that was the main goal at first. I thought, the main goal at first is I wanted to do martial arts. Now, I remember I was living in my mum's house when I was in the chair at first, and it wasn't suitable. But I remember sitting in the hallway one day and just scrolling on my phone looking for martial arts clubs. And I rang up a few in the city and was asking, do any of you train a wheelchair user? And he said, well, we're not trained in it. And then, but I'd also asked my doctor at the time, my consultant, and I had to send a letter. No, I was speaking to my consultant secretary from the hospital, and she was like, well, I'll find out if you find out, you will have to ask the consultant. And he kept on saying no. But I think what it was they eventually said yeah, and here I am now. But what it was, I think, because she assumed that it was going to be cage fighting, and Yeah, she got she got it wrong, but so it took a bit of time before they said yeah, but they were okay about it.
Yeah, and that's the point I was getting to, was that you don't see it as inspirational because you're just living your life the way you want to. I
Yeah,
don't see what I do, and Terry doesn't see what he does as inspirational, but
yeah,
people are inspired by us. That's the consequence, especially when you're doing something so ahead of the curve.
yeah,
When you have a sensei who is actively building a program around this
mm,
specific hurdle, for lack of a better word, um, that's pretty awesome. That's going to benefit a lot of people that you'll never meet, which is
yeah.
amazing.
And then one day you'll become a sensei to somebody, no? That'd be cool. In a wheelchair too.
If I get to a black belt level, my focus is I want to learn chess. I don't know what it is. I've seen it on loads of movies all through my life. And they're playing chess in the park or something. They could be in Central Park. They're playing chess, and I'm thinking that's cool. And I've seen it on movies. I've just seen it a lot. And I thought just to be able to sit down and stroll through the park and then sit down on Sunday and just play chess, even on your own or with somebody. And I thought, I want to learn how to play chess, but I think it will take me a bit of time. I don't think it'll be straight away. It will take me a bit of time.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Nick, do you know how to play chess?
Yes, I do.
Me
I
too.
enjoy playing it. I'm not,
I don't enjoy playing it,
I do. I think it's a
but
fun
I know how
game.
to play it.
Yep.
Awesome.
So I know that you have a Instagram. I'm a follower, so I see what you're up to on there. So what's next on you? What's coming up? So you say you're testing for you're getting back into the swing of things, getting your black belt in order. What's on the
Aiming for
horizon for
that.
you?
I'm just taking it from there. I'm just aiming for that. Could I give you my Instagram? Could I give it out if people want to have a look on my Instagram page?
Okay. That's where Terry will link it, and we'll put it in the show so that people can
Thank
find
you.
you.
Yeah,
I highly encourage our listeners to check you out. It's such a cool thing that you're doing. Um,
thank you.
and I wish you the best with it, my friend. It was so nice to meet you and chat with you today. It's Happy MS Awareness Month from across the pond.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Happy
Yes.
awareness.
Yes.
Okay, nice to speak to you anyway, fellas. Take care.
Chris.
Listen,
Bro,
Terry, what a fantastic guy.
dude, I love that guy. I'm so glad I met him.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought him in. He was great to chat with.
Yeah.
What an interesting take on things. Highlighted a bunch of stuff there. A lot of info on that one. Thank you to everyone sticking with us till the end. We're always so grateful that you are with us.
Yeah.
And I think I've said enough for today. I think I'm going to go.
I didn't. I have much more to say. We'll let everyone go.
All right, bro. Talk soon.
Later, bro. So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4, the letter T, below zero.com. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. And if you don't want to email us, no problem. We're on Instagram as @40belowzero. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk soon.